everyone, this is Lawren again, and this is Kathy. She's going to be joining me while I talk to you guys about Spanish-speaking countries and their cultures. So Kathy, can you tell me how many Spanish-speaking countries there are?
I would guess around 20 maybe?
You're right. There's 21 that have Spanish as their official language. Of course, there's Spain. Can you name any other Spanish-speaking countries for me?
Well, Mexico, where I've been. Peru. Colombia. Ecuador. Paraguay. Belize.
Belize, their official language is English, but they speak Spanish as a minority. So they actually don't count as part of the 21 countries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What about Brazil?
Brazil speaks Portuguese. Although they are in Latin America, and there are a lot of Spanish speakers in Brazil, their official language is Portuguese because they were colonized by Portugal, not by Spain.
Oh, okay. What about the Dominican Republic?
They speak Spanish, and they're right next to Haiti, which they speak French.
Okay. I know I said 20, but I don't know that I know 20 off the top of my head.
Okay, so I have a map here, so let's go through it.
Okay.
All right? Can you help me hold this up?
Yes.
All right, so first we have Spain. It's where the Spanish language came from, and they colonized a lot of the Spanish-speaking countries we have today. Of course, we have over here Mexico. Right here is Cuba, Dominican Republic. Puerto Rico is a very tiny island right here. And over here we have Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama, and all that's in Central America. And then we get into South America, which is Venezuela. And then over here is Colombia, Ecuador, that's Peru. This big piece right here is Bolivia. That's Paraguay, and over here is Uruguay. This large one right here is Argentina, and this little skinny one is Chile. And there's also one more in Africa. Equatorial Guinea is right over here, and they also speak Spanish, which I did not know.
That's interesting.
So can you tell me a little bit about the 6 months you spent living in Spain?
Yes, I would be glad to. So, about 25 years ago,
Okay.
when I was about your age, a little bit older, I was a flight attendant, and I was on temporary duty in Palma de Mallorca, Spain, which is, as you know, an island off the coast of Spain. And I stayed there for about 6 months. That was my home base, and I flew out of there daily to other European countries to pick up people who wanted to come and vacation in Spain. So during that time, I got very familiar with Palma, which is like one of the most beautiful places I've ever been.
Okay.
I really, really enjoyed their food, and I had a lot of it.
What are some of the dishes that you really liked?
Oh, the paella.
Okay.
That was like my favorite.
Yeah.
Favorite.
Can you describe for us what paella is?
Oh, it's a big mixture of...
It's like seafood,
rice, chicken, rice,
okay,
vegetables, and it's not cooked to death like Americans cook our food. It's pretty much kind of like seared, and it's so good. It's very good. Served like on an open skillet. Delicious. So that was like one of my favorite things.
Is there any other like traditional Spanish dishes you had?
Well, interestingly enough, not so much Spanish dishes, but the island of Palma is known for their olive trees.
Okay.
So we went up to the mountains and actually picked olives off olive trees. And I love olives and olive oil, of course. So I had a lot of dishes that had a lot of olives in it.
Okay.
So that was pretty cool.
Okay.
And there was this one restaurant that we frequented only a couple of times because it was pretty pricey, but
Right.
they had the most amazing steak. I can't tell you what they did to it, but it was delicious.
Okay.
So they also make a lot of their own liqueurs there, which are pretty much illegal in the United States because they're so strong.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Yes. So that was kind of a different experience. Restaurants stay open late into the night, excuse me, because everybody's up late.
Mm-hmm. Can you talk about what a normal workday in Spain was like? I know yours was probably different as a flight attendant, but in terms of when the workday starts, siestas, because I remember that's popular.
Yes, so a lot of times markets, stores wouldn't even open until like 10 o'clock in the morning. They'd go for a couple hours and then they'd shut down for a siesta. Excuse me. Then they'd get back up and running and they would go like all night long. Typically a day there would last until midnight, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And that's when people decided, oh, now I'll go home. Or,
now I'll go home and go to bed.
Right.
Okay.
And sleep until 10 a.m. the next day.
Must be nice. Okay, so as you've heard a little bit about Spain, I want to talk a little bit about Mexico. And the reason I had her talk about Spain and why I'm talking about Mexico is because these are the places that we've been to, but these are also countries that interest us. And what I'm going to have you guys do as a class is get together in groups, and you guys are going to pick a country that interests you, Spanish-speaking country, and I want you guys to investigate the culture, different aspects, the architecture, literature, pop culture, food, and then I want you guys to compare it back to our culture here in the United States and put together a presentation like we're doing right now. You don't have to put together a big fancy slideshow, maybe just something with some pictures, like tell us what certain things are, types of architecture, and then that's all you need to do. But just teach us about what you learned about the country that you choose and relate it back to the United States. So, when I was an undergrad, I studied abroad in Oaxaca, Mexico. It's in the southwest corner, not very well known. It's about an hour-long flight from Mexico City. Something that was really interesting about Oaxaca was that the Spanish colonial architecture mixed a lot with the Native American architecture. So you're over in this side of town and there's like ancient ruins, and then 300 feet away there's a Spanish colonial church. So that was pretty cool. Mexico has a very lively street food culture. So yes, there are restaurants, but they have so many street vendors. I had the best hamburger of my life. I don't know what that man did to it, but he was a magician with hamburgers. And as well, you can eat tacos off the street. And the tacos in Mexico are not like the tacos here in the United States. Tacos are about this big, and they usually just come with meat, onion, and cilantro, and maybe salsa. And they have a big spinning cone of meat, and then they cut the meat off and put it on your taco for you. So that's pretty cool.
So not like ground beef.
You
like
could get ground beef.
Shredded meat.
Shredded meat, yeah. So that was that. And actually a lot of people in Oaxaca did not speak any English. And I met quite a few people that spoke neither English nor Spanish, only their native language, which was like Nahuatl, Zapotec, Mixteco, some of the indigenous tribes that still exist in Oaxaca today. So essentially, these are examples of what we want you guys to do with your presentations, and I hope you learned a lot about some of our Spanish-speaking countries that we have in the world. Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Where did you stay when you were in Mexico?
I actually lived with a Mexican family. So my study abroad group, there were 2 students to 1 household. So me and a friend, we lived with a woman named Emma Robles de Dominguez. She lived in this small little old neighborhood called El Barrio Xochimilco, and it was super close to my school, so my friend and I would walk to school every single day. And we had our own room and our own shower, And the woman was so sweet, and she cooked us breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. And it was amazing. The house was beautiful, and...
Was it like our house?
No. The house is there, so air conditioning, it's not as popular in other countries as it is here in the States. So, you walk into the house, you walk in the front door, and you're still outside. Like, there's like a big open courtyard, and a lot of houses are like that. And there's like a sheltered area, and then you walk into a room, and there's the living room, the kitchen. So, my room was upstairs, so there's stairs outside, you walk up the stairs, and then you go into your bedroom, but you're still, and not until you go into your bedroom, you're still outside. And as well, there were no carpets anywhere. It was all tile flooring because it helps keep the room cool in the summer. So, also, the windows were always open. I don't think I was completely 100% indoors the entire time I was there.
Sounds beautiful.
It was. So, I want you guys to explore some of these cultures, and hopefully you can find a place that you want to travel to someday. Thank you!